So, good evening to all. We are getting a lot of emails regarding a lot of doubts are there with respect to BDM cycles, BDM terms. So, we have already clarified these doubts in the orientation session itself. But a lot of emails we are getting in the last 24 hours. We received a lot of emails. Uh, so these emails shows like there is something missing, some clarity is not there with the students, and they are facing some issues with the timelines, these things. So I sent a mail in the morning itself, a very clear mail. So which is to explain, like we are getting a lot of emails from the students, sir. The May term will go to September or not. So for clarifying that, we have sent a mail, but I think after then a lot of confusion came. It's not a genuine concern. We are finding it out. Like most of the students are just saying like is how I can do a project, like if a cycle is going to end. They are not having understanding of the project. So in this with this video, I like to explain you like what exactly uh, are the timelines, how you have to proceed with the project. A lot of things I just clear it out. And one important information which I want to communicate with you all is regarding the portal. So right now we have made some of the changes in the portal, and that might be reflected with some of you, with all of you mostly. Like there is, so we have merged both the portals now. So there is a single portal uh, on which you have to make a submission. So we'll share you the link in the email tomorrow when you are receiving the email when the portal is open. So you'll receive a mail, and from there only you'll get a link itself, right? So I'll explain you how the portal works, what are the changes we have made in the portal. Apart from that, I'll just tell you briefly about the timeline things, like what exactly we want to communicate with you, what exactly we are going in the previous term, what we are doing. So I'll just share my screen, and I'll just let you know like what is the structure says, BDM Capstone project, what it says, right? So let me share the screen. Okay. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible, and I'll just explain you now. Uh, yeah. So fine. So first of all, I'll just explain you what exactly the BDM project cycles, right? What are the confusions we are having in cycles, in your like terms, right? So first you need to find it out the difference between the cycles and the term. Okay. So the first thing is that like you have to understand BDM project, right? So BDM project, how it categorize. So BDM project is there. Now, if you want to categorize this project, it is basically categorized in three form. First is a proposal. Second is midterm, and the third is your final term. So these are the basic categorization, and at last you have a viva. At last you have a viva. So there is a timeline for all the three cases, all the four cases. So there is a timeline for proposal submission. Timeline for proposal submission. We have a timeline for midterm, right? We have a timeline for final term. So similarly, there are two ways. The first way is a primary approach. The second way of doing a project is a secondary approach. I'll not go in detail about these things because these are already communicated with you multiple times while live sessions in a documents. It is already clarified. So mostly I'll go with the timelines here from now onwards. So what the timeline is all about, right? So for BDM project, like if you are registering for a BDM project, so the first thing is there are three terms. So terms of a BDM projects, terms of a BDM project, right? So what are these three terms? What exactly the terms? How we are going to submit, right? So in this term, so we have a January term. We have a May term, right? And we have a September term. So these three are the terms, right? So this is first term, this is second term, and this is third term. So in a year, you have three terms: January, May, and September, right? Okay, so now in these three terms, we have multiple cycles. So if you are registering, if a student is registering for registration, sorry, if you are registering for register for Jan term, right? If you are registering for a Jan term, then you are getting a different cycles, right? So now the concept come for the cycle. Cycle one, suppose if you are registering for Jan term, you are getting a Feb cycle, March cycle, and April cycle, right? So these are the three cycles where you can submit your project, right? In each cycles, you have a different timelines. So these are the cycles. Submission, you can say a submission cycle. Submission cycles, right? So in this cycle, how you have to submit your project? So already I told you, like the project is categorized in three ways: proposal, midterm, and final. So in this February cycle, you have a three submission windows. The first window is for proposal, second is for midterm, and third is for final term, right? So suppose I am telling, already we have communicated the timeline. So from 1 to 5, fifth of every cycle, 1 to 5th of every cycle, the window for 1 to 5th, the window for proposal, primary proposal is open, right? So you are able to submit your proposal from 1 to 5. Next, the window will open for midterm, and then for a final term, right? Once the window is closed, suppose this is closed, you won't be able to submit a proposal there. Once your midterm is closed, you won't be able to submit the midterm again. So in the next cycle only, you need to submit. Suppose you are not able to submit this, you are not able to submit here. So then what you have to do, you have to go in the March. March, you have three: proposal, midterm, and final. You have to submit your midterm in the next cycle, right? So in the next cycle, proposal, midterm, and final. You have to go here and you have to submit here. Similarly, you have to go for the other submissions as well, right? So here, the other thing is that so we have only three cycles. Like if you say January, it is a three cycles are there. If you consider May, you have a three cycles. That is a June, July, and August. So these are the three cycles, right? So in these three cycles only, you need to complete your project, right? So what I communicated with the mail is something like there is no more extension of the cycles. For a May term, there is no more extension. No more extension in cycle. What I mean to say, so it is only three submissions are possible. Three submissions in the term June, July, and August. You won't, till now, you won't be able to submit in September. because September is a new cycle, right? But in case if we are opening on a September, we are adding this September month in a May cycle, we'll add this September term in a May cycle, then you'll get information from a supporting, right? So up to now, you have to consider only June, July, August as your May term cycle. Your term is ending on August. So those who want to complete a project in this May cycle, this is the last cycle. August is the last cycle for them, right? So here a lot of students are again getting confused, right? I don't know why they are getting confused, but there is a confusion again here. So now students are asking, sir, okay, so these are the cycles. So if I'm not able to submit in August cycle, what is there? August cycle, not able to submit, not able to submit and complete project, right? Not able to submit and complete project. So what I can do, right? So this is already informed, like your fees is your registration fees is valid for 2 terms. 2 terms. What it means? It means if you are registered for January term, right? So you can just complete your you can complete your project in a multiple cycle, but your registration fees, you don't have to pay a fees again for a May term. So your registration fees is valid for 2 terms. So it includes like so you can complete your project without paying the fees for January plus May, right? So if you're not able to complete here, complete in Jan, right? But here what happens, so if you are just not able to complete in a Jan, the fees is valid for a May term, but registration is required. Registration is required. So you need to register and then you can continue your project. The other thing is that if you are not able to do here as well, so this is a similar case. If you can see here, so the similar case is valid for this. If you are not able to do it here, then what you have to do, you have to register. You have to register for new cycle, that is a September. So your effective registration is started from here. Now it is January. May you are not able to complete, plus again you are going to start your project in September. So this is third cycle for you, right? So because this is a third cycle, you need to pay a fees. So you need to pay a fees, you need to register again, and you need to complete a project, right? So this cycle and term selection is totally dependent upon a student. So there is no interference from faculty side, faculty sorry so there is no interference from the faculty side to complete project. Selection of cycles, right? The first thing is I'll just remap it. So the selection of you can say selection of cycles, selection of terms, and selection of your project. These things are totally dependent on students. choice. So there is no interference from the faculty on this, right? So it's a student choice. Now the other question is here, so I'll just label it. So this is regarding registration, this is related to your submission, this is related to your cycle. So these are the three topics it is covered. Now the next thing is that students are asking, so if suppose in January term some student submitted their proposal, right, but they are not able to complete the project and only the proposal it get accepted, or it is rejected, right? So what they have to do if they are going for a new cycle, right? So if they are just not able to complete in not able to complete in Jan cycle, they have to move on to your January, that is a January term. Sorry, you are not able to complete in a January term, then you have to move it to the May term, right? You have to do a registration, and what you have to do, you have to start your project from the same phase, right, where you are here, right? So if your proposal is accepted, you have to start in a May term from proposal. If your midterm is accepted or you are in a midterm phase, then in a May term you have to start from the midterm, or similar way in the final term and for a YY as well. So it is not something like if you are registering for a May term, then you have to start, sorry, if you are registering from a May term, then you have to start from scratch. So this is not valid. So if you have completed your Jan term, right? Jan term you have submitted a proposal. If it is accepted or rejected, right? If you are not able to complete in a Jan term, you will be just you need to register in the May term, and in a May term you have to start from the same stage of the project where you left the previous term, right? So this is all about confusion what students are having about the cycles, right? Various cycle registration fees. So it will clarify all the things. Now coming to the portal right now. So if you see here, so now we have only one submission portal, right? Only one submission portal. Only one portal for submission, right? So this is the layout of the portal. When you are the support team will share you the link. So this here you can see once you log in from the student side, it will look like this student dashboard, right? So here you have a different tabs like a home screen, timeline, document, tickets, contact, support, right? So when you are just new to the submission phase, right? I'll say this is a initial registration page, right? So here if you see, so this is a one-time activity you need to do, right? You need to define whether you want to opt for a primary route or you want to opt for a secondary route, right? You need to put the details of the business, what exactly it is all about, and we have a declaration statement here as well. So you need to take this for proceeding forward, right? So here so this is the registration page. Once you registered for this, like either for a primary route or a secondary route, you have to follow the same route for your project completion. In between you won't be able to change. Like if you are submitting for a primary route, so in between it's not possible for you to change because you have already registered for the second primary route. So if you opted for a secondary route to complete the project, you have to continue with the secondary route. So this is a one-time window for project registration, right? So once it is done, so this is the second window. It will come from next time onwards, right? So here, if you registered for the secondary portal, right? So here it will reflect a secondary. So you have chosen a route of project is secondary, right? So now you are registered for the secondary approach to complete the project, right? So accordingly, like when you are submitting, when you have selected a secondary portal, the submission timeline will highlight here. So suppose you are in a proposal phase, so it will reflect the timeline for proposal here for a secondary proposal. So if suppose you are in a midterm, right? So your timeline for the midterm will highlight here. So what exactly the submission date when the portal is open, it will highlight here. So once you're submitting your proposal, your midterm, it will get highlighted here, title, your submissions, your date, your stage, and your status. Everything will reflect here. Right? It is a same like it is the same as the previous case, but here we have advanced some of the features where you can just like some students they forget like they are in which phase of the project, right? After, maybe they are just repeating it after 2 terms or 3 terms, right? So in the portal it will already reflect you have completed a proposal phase and you are in a midterm phase, and this is what the submission timeline for this. So this is all about the proposal thing. It will look like this. Like after registration, this is the next screen which will be visible to you all from the next time. Now, if you see here, this is another case where a student opted for a primary. It is showing primary, and he is in a final stage of submission, right? So he completed his midterm final stage was rejected. Now again he has to submit his final. So that's why it is showing final, and it is showing you the timeline when the portal will open and when it will close, right? So it is clearly showing here. Now the other thing come, so in some cases, like some of the exceptional cases where students want to raise the issue, right? So if in case if they want to raise a different issues, they can just use a ticketing system. So there are multiple things which you can select in the ticketing system from here, right? You can put a brief detailed comment. So we need a detailed comment. Detailed comment over here. All right. So like I'll give you example. Suppose you are giving reset portal option. So if you want to reset your portal, right? If you want to reset your portal to primary proposal phase, right? Then you have to raise a ticket from here. You have to submit a ticket, right? So and while submitting a ticket, you have to give a detailed comment. The thing is that why you want to reset the portal, you have to explain in details. So once you explain it in detail and you submit a ticket, it will go to me and to Dr. Ashwin. We will see the comments, and in case if we feel like the concern raised are genuine, students is like he is facing a problem with the same problem whatever he just mentioned in the comment, and if you find it genuine, we can approve it from there itself. Otherwise we can raise a concern, okay, this is not a genuine and we are not able to accept it. Then you have to justify with the some documents or something, like whatever is needed, we can just reply you in the mail itself. So if the case is registered, if it is resolved, you get a so this is a case right? Here it will show the comments, what exactly the comments you are submitting here, right? And it is showing the status. So this will upgrade, like basically depend upon our approval. Now there is other option, which is a contact support. Contact support in the sense, like in case if you are facing an issues, so within the submission timeline. So within the submission timeline, that is not beyond, so not beyond the timeline of submission. Within the submission timeline, you can raise this concern, contact us. Like in case if you are facing any issues with the portal, you are not able to submit your report with the portal, you are finding some challenges while submitting the report, so you have to provide all the details, what exactly the problem is all about, what you are facing a problem. You have to add the images to justify, okay, or to validate, like, okay, this is a genuine problem you are facing on. You have to attach the video and you have to share it to us. If you find, okay, this is the problem, we can reply it to you accordingly, right? So this is all I want to communicate. So these are some of the modifications we have done, and with this I've explained you what are the changes we did it here, and this is about the project, how the project is going on. A lot of people don't have an idea because they are not they didn't attended the session, right? Orientation session. So this will give you an idea, okay, what exactly it is all about. So I'll repeat it one more time. So basically the BDM project is something, it's divided in 4 parts. So the first part is the proposal. All right, so the first is a proposal part, midterm, final, and viva. So these are the 4 categorization of the BDM project, right? So in terms of submission or in terms of doing a project, it is divided in 2 ways, that is a primary and a secondary. So you can take any of the path, it depends upon you what the path you want to choose. So primary or secondary, any path you can choose and you can complete the project. So for every submissions, like proposal submission, midterm submission, final and viva submission, we have some timelines, right? That is already shared. So here there are two things mainly. The first thing is the term of a BDM project. The another thing is the cycle. So if suppose if you register for a January term, so in January term you have February cycles, March cycles, or April cycles. So February, March, April are the 3 cycles in a January term, right? So in every cycle you have a different submission steps, right? You can submit a proposal, there is a certain deadline for a proposal, there is a certain deadline for midterm, there is a certain deadline for final. So the portal will open in this particular timeline and it will automatically close. You won't, if you miss the timeline, you won't be able to just submit the proposal, you have to wait for the next one, right? Similarly, we have a May term and September term. So there is June, July, and August. So August is the last cycle for May term. So those who want to start the project, they can start it from May. Like they can just submit in the May term. That is the last cycle, August cycle. So till now, and after then the September cycle is coming. So till now there is no extension for a May term. We have only submissions up to May, up to August. So in case if there is some, we are opening this thing, right? We are opening one more cycle in the May term. Then we will update you. So as of now, there is no updates. There is nothing we have decided, or we'll just look into it and we'll just take a call and update you via email, right? So so this is another thing, like students are asking if we are not able to submit in August, then what exactly we need to do. So it's something like it's a normal process. If you are not able to submit in August, if there is no further extension in the cycles, then you have to re-register again in the September term, right? So you have to register again in September term, sorry, September term, and complete the project, right? If you are not able to complete in September term also, you can just register for the next Jan term. right? So this is something we have. Okay, now registration fees, it is valid for 2 terms. We have a January term. If you are not able to complete in January term, you will you have to register again in the May term. So if you are just resting on a January, so your fees is valid for January plus May. If you are not able to complete your project in May term as well, again you have to register for the September term. So your fees is valid from January to May, but this is the extra term you are registering September. So now you have to pay the fees again. So this selection of the cycles, I told, like we don't have any, we are not commenting, we are not able to say you like you have to complete your project in January cycle, May cycle, or September cycle. It totally depends upon the students, whatever their choice is all about. Right? So it's a call from the student side. We are not interfering on the cycles, project terms, right? Or if you want to select a primary or secondary, it's your choice. So it's a student choice. We are not commenting on it. So the other thing is that, like if you have a Jan term, Jan term you have registered, you have submitted your proposal, right? And Jan term you registered, you submitted your proposal, and proposal is accepted or rejected, right? And you want to continue project in the next May term, so where you need to start. So if you have submitted a proposal, it is accepted or rejected. So in a May, in a next May term, you have to start from the proposal itself, right? You don't have to start from again from the scratch. So if you are in a in January term, if you are in a May midterm submission phase, right? So you have to, in a May term, you have to proceed with the same stage, like a midterm submission, right? But you need to register. That is a thing, like I am repeating again and again. So if you are going for a new term, you have to register again, right? So this is what I told, like you don't have to start from scratch, so you have to start from the previous phase itself, right? So this is for the portal I have shown you. So again you can see here, so only one so this is only one time activity. It's a registration page where you have to do a registration of yourself. You have to select what exactly the route you are opting for the project, right? So once you are submitting, you are getting here the notification which phase you are registered, right? And what exactly the timeline is all about. Similarly for a primary, if you are registering, if you are in a final submission, it will show you the timeline for the final submission. Okay, and you have to, in case if you want to raise a ticket, you can raise a ticket with a detailed comment why you want to change, what exactly the problems you are having. You need to attach the document. So these are the things for the proposal point of view. I want to explain you all about this, right? So that's all from my side, and I hope this will clarify your doubts, and you'll not face any problems, right, from here onwards. Okay, so yeah, so this is what basically I want to communicate to you all, and I want to explain, because we are getting a lot of emails and it is not possible to address a single nearly 50 emails we received from the morning onwards, right? So it is not possible. So we thought, like, okay, we can just make a video which can clarify you all the things, and also we need to share the detail about the portal modification. That is why we and that is the main motive of this video, and maybe you'll get a lot of information from this video, and hope you are able to complete the project as soon as possible with a healthy atmosphere, and with a good grades, obviously. So this is from my side. I'll just wind up the video, and wish you all the best. Okay, bye. Good night.